also, guys, I watched the Odyssey yesterday, and oh my god, it was so good. It was one of the best movies I've ever watched. Literally, guys. You know, one of those movies where, like, in the next 10, wait, hold on, one of those movies that in the next 10 years, when you're like watching it with your kids or your family, and or when you're just, in a different time in your life, and you're just like, oh my god, I really do want to watch that movie again, and you go back to watch it and it just still feels so good. And I watched it once, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I might go watch it again. So if someone, like, let's just say my friend is like, oh, I've not watched it, do you want to come with me, I would definitely still go back to watch it. That's how good it was. And spoiler ahead, if you've not watched it, then just don't continue watching this video. But if you've not watched it, I'm still gonna tell you that you should definitely go watch it. It's actually worth it. Like, I'm telling you, you will not feel like you wasted your time, because it was like almost 3 hours. But I didn't feel like it was 3 hours, because the storyline was so good, and the pacing of the movie as well. It was just perfect. You know, when it's just like there's no there's no unreasonable scenes there. You know, there's sometimes when you're watching a movie and it just feels like, why is this scene even there? Like, it feels like everything was there for a reason, and it was just perfect. Like, I didn't watch it in IMAX. I know the movie was made in IMAX. I watched it in normal view cinema, and it was really, really good. I didn't really notice the difference like that, but I won't notice until I go watch it in IMAX. But guys, so if you've not watched it, before I go into the spoilers, it's time for you to just click off now and just go to the cinema and watch it. But if you've watched it, let's discuss, guys. One of the main thing I wanted to talk about is the Cyclops. Like, they did that guy, like they did my boy really badly, because he was just minding his business, guys. He was in his cave, living his life, you know, eating cheese, tending to the sheep, and he just wasn't doing anything. But then Odysseus and his men just came in. First of all, they didn't even bother to ask who owns the place. It's like coming into someone's house without knocking, without asking, oh, is anyone no, they went straight to his cheese and ate his cheese. Imagine, like, they literally ate his cheese, and they were basically just going to settle down in there. And then when the Cyclops came in and of course noticed that Odysseus and his men were there. Of course, he got angry and he ate two of them. Of course, that was wrong of him. He shouldn't have eaten the men. But the point I'm trying to make is the fact that Odysseus shot him in the eye was just out of order. It wasn't needed. Like, I kind of felt bad for him. And at the end, when they were leaving, and I think, yeah, it showed him in the eye when they were actually leaving. Like, they already escaped. There was no need for him to show him in the eye again. If you've escaped, then why do you need to, harm him? And it was just so sad. And the fact that he was screaming for help, I didn't even I didn't hear what he was saying like that, but I think later on I found that apparently he was begging Poseidon, his dad, to avenge him, which was why they of course drowned in the sea. And it makes sense, because I mean, you're not going to go stab someone in the eye and then expect to just escape. Absolutely not. And so I'm glad that, I'm glad that Poseidon actually avenged his son. But yeah, that part really stood out to me. And let's now go back to Odysseus. Like, I do feel like he is a man who genuinely, I don't know, I didn't read the book, so correct me if I'm wrong. This is just from the movie and what I watched. When they were trying to win over Troy, I didn't know that they actually killed that many women. Like, I think at the ending, when he realized that they did more harm than good. And then I read the backstory that the reason why for this war was actually because they wanted to go um take back Ellen of Troy. Yeah, the wife. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't know the story fully well. They wanted to go take back the wife, but I just feel like they could have just gone and taken back Ellen of Troy and then just move on with their life. But I think the fact that they killed so many men and women, it just kind of showed that they were worse than they were just really wicked people. Because I think from the beginning of the movie, you would literally think that, oh, maybe they were just fighting a just war, like the war they were fighting was for the good. Well, really and truly, at the end, when he explains it, or like he's having his regretful moments, you do realize that there was no need for those bloodshed. And I think maybe that was their karma, the fact that it took them, well, all these men didn't make it, but maybe that was their karma because they did kill people that were not, that just, yeah, they killed people that were not meant to be killed. You get what I'm saying? All in the name of trying to take um Ellen of Troy back. But correct me if I'm wrong, guys. In case I'm getting the history wrong, you feel free to correct me. I found out that throughout the journey, we thought that Zendaya was Athena, and yes, maybe she was Athena, but she was showing up as the face of the girl that they did kill in Troy. So there was no need for them to kill those people. And I think that's probably why they all ended up dying, if I'm being honest. And I think the punishment for Odysseus was for him to be the only one to survive, which means that he had to carry all the regrets, the grief, and the the guilt as well of him being the only one who made it. And his men, thousands of them, just didn't make it. And guys, one of my favorite part as well was, when is this yeah, Cersei, and you know, I really like that part because I think she was so in defense in terms of how women has been treated over the years, and I think she felt like, yeah, she had to defend herself by turning those men to pigs at that moment because one, there's one of her, and I mean there was like, they had like, I think there was like over 10 or 15 men in that room alone. And I think she felt threatened herself being the only woman in that island. And she just felt like she could be molested. You get what I'm saying? And I think she just felt like, what? I have to use my power. And she did. But one thing that was just so amazing that she said, because when Odysseus came in and it was like, oh, like, can she just release them and turn them back? And then when she went back to them, she was like, "Oh, there you go back to your disguises." And that was just such an amazing sentence because I think what she was trying to say is that, like, even them becoming a real person or real men is not actually who they are. Their real self is those pigs. Like, being a pig is who they actually are. Because I guess now going back to the war during the what they did to Troy, I think it was just more of a thing of like they ruined a lot of people's life. Like they probably, slept with a lot of women, and they did a lot of things. And I found out that apparently Cersei does see the past, the present, and the future. So she knew what they did, and I think that's why, of course, when she turned them to a specific animal, it was the pig because they were greedy. Pigs are very greedy. They are gluttonous. They basically overindulge. And I think maybe that's what they did. And it kind of also explains later on as well. And I think probably she probably saw what they did as well. Because when they were going they were on the sea, and apparently they were warned not to eat the cow because they were holy cows. When they get to the if they're going to stop in that island, they must not eat any meat because the cows there are holy cows. And then they were like, yeah, we won't do it. We just need to land. We can't be on sea forever. Like, they're hungry. And then Odysseus was just like, you know what, I'm warning you guys now, don't eat the meat. And we're like, yeah, we won't. And then they ate the meat because after, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I blame them because, of course, if you're hungry, you just do whatever you got to, you eat whatever you've got. But then I think it's the fact that they still became gluttonous, and I won't call that gluttonous. They were hungry, but I think they still disobeyed um the prophecy, knowing what will happen, and they just didn't care basically. And I think Cersei saw that as well in the future, in the like predicted it, or saw that in our sight or whatever. And I think that also led her to turn them to pig as well. Or maybe it's not even a thing of she turned them to pigs. It might be because maybe the type of witchcraft is a thing where, like, you know, it turns you to whoever you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just weird because I think she has a sister, and that sister was the crow in the cage as well. So it might not be that she necessarily chooses what to turn them into. It's like maybe who they truly are is the type of animal they turn into. But that part was really good as well. It was kind of poetic as well. I really liked that part. And also, when Aniata Way, what did she? Sorry, my bad. I don't know. I forgot what she actually played in the movie. Of course, she's a main character, but I keep forgetting the name of, if I remember. But yeah, the fact that even though I'm very sure during that time, a woman being on the throne is a something that wasn't acceptable. But I'm glad that she used our wisdom to continue, like, kind of dragging the process of her actually taking a suitor. And I'm glad that she stood her ground, because the part when her son was basically like, oh, he wants to take the the crown, and then she was just like, you think the experience that she's had and all of that, like, is below what is, him being a little child now, him being a little child coming to tell her that he wants to be the king. And I'm not gonna lie to you, she deserves that throne. If anything, our character does deserve to have the throne, and also to hold down the throne until Odysseus came back, if I'm being honest. Because um Odysseus' son wasn't ready. Tom Holland wasn't ready to be a king at that moment, in my opinion. But yeah, it was really good. I think there was just a lot of the movie itself, the journey, um the cinematic experience of the movie was really good. Like, Christopher Nolan did, he did a really good job with the movie. Like, he really did it well, and you can just tell the way the movie started and the way it ended. It just felt like a proper storyline where, like, it actually rounded up well, very good, in a good way. Like, where it doesn't feel like you're missing anything, or you wanted more. Of course, you wanted more in terms of, like, it was really good, so you just wanted the story to keep going. But in terms of, like, the movie itself, because I'm someone who goes to the cinema a lot, so I do watch a lot of movies, and there are times when I'll go watch a movie, and then I realize that the ending, there's difference between open ending and then a movie just ending, and you're just like, what the F did I just watch? Like, what was that? Like, it wasn't the same thing for this movie. It actually felt really good. Like, I was just like, you know what? I'm so happy I went to watch it, and I would watch it again, honestly. So it was a movie that was really like, you know, like, it really made a lot of sense. And in terms of the acting, like, everyone did a great job. Like, I know a lot of people were talking about how Tom Holland wasn't good, but I think it was really great in the movie. Like, it portrayed it well. It's meant to be a son that, like, a son that's still growing in in his experience, in his fighting experience, and I think he did a really good job at portraying that. Because the role is not meant for someone that's, like, meant to look brave or meant to look like, he really played the role, like, well. Like, he wasn't a coward, but he also played it well. Matt, the main character, Odysseus, he was really, really good. Like, he sold that character. I think everyone did really well. And don't even get me started on people talking about how Lupita Nyong'o shouldn't have been Ellen of Troy, because Ellen of Troy was portrayed to be the most beautiful woman. Let me tell you something. Lupita is such a beautiful woman, and I think I just don't understand this thing. Like, first of all, this is all fictional, it's not real. And also, it's the fact that, like, someone doesn't have to be a white woman with blue eyes to be beautiful, to be the most beautiful. Of course, like, if of course you're beautiful, but I'm just trying to say that, like, you don't have to look a certain way to be considered to be the most beautiful woman. And someone had a different take, which I genuinely believe that that's a very smart take, and it makes sense. The person was basically saying about how, like, during that time, like, there might be a lot of um Greek women, or white women, but then the fact that they made Lupita, which is a dark skinned woman, be seen as the most beautiful woman, is because she's different. She has a different skin tone. So it's like, a lot of these men during that time, it was common to see a white woman, and then her being a darker skin tone made it a thing where, like, she's the most beautiful woman, because it's so different, and it's so, different from what they normally see. And that's a different take as well. But apart from that take, even, like, she is beautiful. She's a beautiful woman, and she was perfect for that role. She's a great actress, anyways. So her being in that role, she did really well. I think everyone played their role very well. Even what's the name of the Calypso? Yes, that yeah, Calypso as well. She's just such a beautiful woman. I see her in the is it the Dior advert or Versace advert? I don't think it's Versace advert, but like I think there's an advert that she's always in, and she's just always so beautiful. Like whenever I see her on my TV screen. So when I saw her in the movie, I was just like, oh, she's so perfect for that role, and she looked really beautiful in that role too. So I think everyone played their roles really good, and that movie was honestly a 10 out of 10. There was nothing that I would think that maybe could have been done better because it was actually done really well. And yeah, like guys, just definitely go watch it if you stayed this long and you've listened to the spoilers. Because I really wanted to talk about it to someone because I was just like, you know what, this is one of those movies where, you just want to watch over and over and over again. And yeah, definitely. I'm so glad they happened in my lifetime. There's some movies that you're just like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be alive. When people just like uh don't do anything to yourself, don't do anything bad to yourself so that you can stay alive to watch certain movies, like this is one of those moments. But like I am so excited for Marvel's Doomsday as well because I am a big Marvel fan, guys. I'm telling you, whenever I go to the same cinema now, I'm going to try and come back and give you guys debriefs so that I can tell you what to watch and advise you what to watch and what not to watch. But guys, I'm so excited for Doomsday. I don't know I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer and how Captain America is back. Spoiler alert if you've not watched the trailer. But yeah, like I'm going to put the spoiler alert before I say it. Well, I've said it now, but when I'm editing it. But yeah, guys, I'm so excited. Like, how is Captain America back? Okay, this video is not about that. We'll talk about that another day. Maybe after we've watched that in December, we'll talk about it. It's all I have for you guys today. I know it's something different from what I normally post, but guys, sometimes I do want to share my passion and my the things I love doing in my private times. With my private times, I will be doing more of that. If you guys love this video, then I can definitely do more movie reviews and movie debriefs. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have been having a great week so far. I'm having a great day today, guys. I'm just having an amazing day. But I do hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're prioritizing yourself. It's okay to be selfish sometimes and just put yourself first. You can be selfish without also putting other people down or being unfair to other people. So just remember to take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, and let's make this dream work, guys. But yeah, sending you guys love and positive energy. I'll speak to you guys soon.